Miracles and Me, Chapter 2, Boils and Allergies. As a young child, I was allergic to a lot of things, from eggs to dried fish to prawns, crabs, and even to foods with preservatives, like artificial juices, as well as chocolate drinks. There are lots of incidents where I developed hives, not only to arms and legs, but all over my body. I will scratch my scalp up to the soles of my feet because it was so itchy. At one point, I developed a boil on my upper arm and it had to have a surgery. I can't remember exactly how old I was, but I think it's probably when I was between 2 to 3 years of age. I got a photo before where my dad was carrying me and there's a bandage wrapped on my upper arm, and my mom would always say to me that I had an operation because of my boils. That's why I got the bandage on that photo. Another vivid memory of mine, and even to my uncle, who still remembers the incident which he calls bikil. I think it's a variation to our dialect or Filipino word which is bukol, which means a bump. But bikil is like a bump or lump on the head that developed into like boils that oozes pus. What happened was I had a terrible allergic reaction where my scalp started to swell like a bump or lump and then forms into a blister, and eventually pus started to ooze. It was my pediatrician who detected that it was the shampoo that's causing it, because she asked us if there's any new shampoo that we are using, and we said yes. We were given a shampoo from abroad by our relative as a gift. We didn't know actually that it was the culprit, but after she suggested to stop using that shampoo, my bikil stopped. I can't remember exactly if I was given any active treatment for the bikil because of the pus that keeps bursting on my head, and it was embarrassing that when I was at school, suddenly the pus will start to drip down my head, but it seemed to just stopped and healed. I didn't even get any palit, or what you call bald spots, on the area where those boils popped. It was such an amazing recovery that it didn't leave any marks or spots on my head. Another incident with my allergies was I think I've eaten boiled egg and I started to itch and develop rashes all over my body. But I'm so used to it already that I will just eat 2 spoonfuls of sugar and then take Claritin or my antihistamine. Then after a few minutes, the itchiness and rashes will disappear. But on this particular incident, past midnight, I started to feel like there's an elephant sitting on my chest. I struggled to breathe when I'm lying down. So I went down to our lounge and just sat on the couch until about 5 a.m. And that's when my mom woke up and found me in the lounge. She asked me what I was doing downstairs. I told her I was up since past midnight. I said to my mom that I had hard time breathing and it feels like there's an elephant sat on my chest. My mom immediately called our neighbor who is a doctor and took me there. And whilst walking, she scolded me why I didn't wake them up in the middle of the night. I could have an anaphylactic shock, but I told her I don't want to disturb them in the night. Also, it was like, or it felt like someone whispered to me subconsciously to go downstairs and just sit because I can't lie in bed. It was too difficult to breathe. And this thought of someone or sort of an invisible person talking to me suggesting that I should go downstairs and just sit reassured me that he or she will sit beside me and I will be fine. My mom and the rest of my family couldn't believe that I survived the whole night just sitting in the lounge with that discomfort on my chest and troubled breathing. When the doctor saw me and heard about my ordeal, she said that I could have just taken another dose of antihistamine because sometimes even though the itchiness and rashes disappears, it is still active inside. So they just give me another dose of Claritin and I took it and within few minutes my breathing was fine. As I was trying to recall what really happened that night, it feels like someone was with me giving me comfort and said, "Just trust in me, you are safe." And it feels like the invisible person was there just to comfort me and give me companion. Because I was like half asleep and half awake, I felt the discomfort and difficulty in breathing, but also I can't imagine how the time passes like from midnight to 5 a.m. I was just sat on the couch with nobody or nothing like TV or music going on. I might have fallen asleep sitting and I just probably didn't notice it because it was a quick nap and it felt like I was awake the whole time. What I'm sure of is that someone gave me some company and reassurance that time.